Hi, my name is Victoria Ingram, and welcome back to my first grade classroom. I am here with my colleague discussing my previous lesson on consonant blend digraph sounds, where we discussed the SH, CH, TH, and WH blends. So we're going to talk about how we can improve the lesson for the future and what we can expect coming into the new school year.
Well, hi, Miss Ingram. I'm glad to be back in your classroom. Who do you think would benefit from this lesson?
Students who would benefit from the digraph lesson are going to be students who are at grade level and students who are ready for a new challenge.
And who would need additional support? Which children do you think would need additional support for this lesson?
For sure, my students who have a lower reading level are going to need additional support. And I would even argue a little that every student might need a little review on what was missed. In my head, I think these students, they left school in March, and who knows what they picked up on or how far they studied during our lockdown situation. So I think for sure I would have to keep in mind, like, I am going to have lower level reading students regardless, but every student is going to have a unique story from COVID, and we just need to work together on figuring out where they're at, because I know I have new students coming in, students have transferred, they didn't do kindergarten here, so they're coming in for the first time, and so it's going to be a lot of trial, error, and adapting.
Very much. I think that's putting it mildly. So what do you think makes this lesson successful?
It does have the potential to be successful. I think it's going to be new for a lot of students, so we need to make sure they have an understanding of phonics as well as phonemic awareness. The consonant blends, they're going to make a different sound, so I want to incorporate as many visuals and being as clear as possible in instruction and how I am pronouncing it myself.
Well, that leads to our next question. Which strategies would you use to make this lesson more successful? How would you make it more effective, more successful?
So looking around my room, my desks are already in their rows, and this is for COVID. Usually first grade, we like to do a lot of small group and set our kids up in tables, but since we're in a unique situation, my kids are going to be in rows. And during this lesson, I would give each kid a whiteboard, and maybe each row would have a digraph. So if this row behind me, if they're working on SH, they could practice writing their S and H, and then I would say, okay, what words did you come up with for your digraph blend? And they would be like shoe, ship, and we can move on. And then the row by them, maybe they had TH and they could do the same thing, and then we could switch and spend about 20 minutes brainstorming together. And behind me too, I have my projection screen, so I could make a Google slide or just pull up Google Images and bring up a piece of chocolate or teeth and have the kids go back to their whiteboard, write it down, and just move forward as like a group instruction practice. And when we were doing our lesson last week, like it was easier because I only had one person in my room, and she already knows how to read, so she was a great student.
Thank you. I was in first grade a long time ago, so I think I'm good.
So just thinking of new ways to incorporate technology and get the kids involved, since I only used a whiteboard and I was just very in front of the classroom, being very direct. I know with incoming 24 students, they're going to be wanting more ways to go about their room and with the lesson.
Great. And then last question, how can you modify to improve this lesson? You kind of talked about that a little bit, but how else do you think that you could modify this lesson to improve, to make sure all the kids are catching on?
So I was thinking about this, and I definitely need to take the time to find more ways to check for understanding. I do like to talk a lot, but I talk and don't ask questions, so I need to find more routes to ask children questions about what they have already learned and what they have taken away from the lesson. So I need to maybe let them think of their own things and focus on class participation. So if we are focusing on those four sounds, maybe turn to the class and make sure they're understanding what two consonants make that blend. So if we are looking at the ch sound, I could ask student one, what two consonants will make that sound? And if they're able to decode it as a CH, then I know we're on the right track and we can move on to the assessment, and that would conclude the lesson.
Very good.
Thank you for talking with me a second time, and thank you for coming in.
Well, you're welcome. I enjoyed your classroom. It's been a long time since I was in the first grade.
Thank you.